Welcome to the Customer Experience World Games 2025. Dear players, dear captains, dear judges, we are going to start with a very special person for us. She was, well, I will introduce her name. She's Fatima Tomoun, and she was participating very active in the last year. So this is a different open ceremony, a different starting of the open ceremony, and I want to start with her words, asking if she can introduce herself. So welcome, Fatima. How are you?
Rodrigo, thank you so much. I'm doing really well. Thank you.
Oh, really nice that you are here with us. Please, can you share us? Did you participate? You participate in the last year in the World Games, but what it was special for you the last year?
It was. I was asked to be captain of one of the teams. We were the CX Navigators, and we won the competition last year. So it was a really. I participated a couple of times before that as a member of the group. And it was and the year before that, I was part of the winning team as well. So I've had the privilege of being in winning teams now for a couple of years, and it was a really emotional and humbling experience.
Thank you so much, Fatima. Well, can you share with the new captains and the new players a few words about your experience in the Customer Experience World Games?
Absolutely. So I think for me, what I found over the years is when the team takes a step back and really listens to the voice of the customer and really understands what is the unsolved need that they're looking for. And when we work together, rather than as individuals, but as collaborative team members, all with different skill sets, all with different passions within the CX world, when we can bring that out and bring that together, they are the challenges where we A, had the most fun, and B, had the best results. It's a very, it became a real passion project for all of us. We were very fortunate in all of the years that I'd participated. We had cohorts that were relatively close in proximity with each other from a time direction. So, for example, last year we had a cohort in Dubai, we had a cohort in the UK, we had a cohort in the US, in those time zones. So we were literally able to tag team all the way around the time zones and be working in a time that made sense for us, but still managed to get more than 24 hours in the day, if you know what I mean. We sort of had 3 sets of 24 hours in which we could get work done because we strategically planned our teams in that way. We looked at the skill sets, we looked at the people's motivations, we looked at their passions and where they were located, and we broke it up accordingly. And that helped us a lot, I think, in working through things. The other thing that I would say is, and I'm quite guilty at this, I have to say, but trying to listen to everybody's opinions when you think you have the answer is one of the hardest things to do. But where you actually, in my case, I had a wonderful VP, Sandy, who would sometimes tap me on the shoulder virtually and say, Fatima, I think this is what they're trying to say. And he'd sort of, you need to have someone in the team who allows everybody to speak and everybody to have a voice. And where we stepped back and listened, we had better results than where one team or one person sort of went off and charged ahead with what they thought was best. And so they would be sort of the little bits of insights that I would have. Some of the projects are still very, very close to my heart. And I remember sort of trying to follow up on some of them. They had, sort of personal, pulled on personal heartstrings, if you like. And so I think one of the joys of this project is being able to do something for the love and for the joy of A, helping a company, but B, for the love of CX. So from that perspective, I would recommend everybody to do this as often as they can.
those are amazing words, Fatima, and I think very insightful. There can be some tips for the new judge in those words. So thank you so much for being here. Congratulations, because the last year was an amazing competition, and I think it's something that is still in your heart, is still in your life, and many congratulations for that. We are happy that we can make the CX difference also to your life. And well, I know that it's late for you.
Yeah, it's after midnight.
Almost midnight. So
Yeah.
as we are in the World Games, we can be anywhere. So thank you very much, Fatima, for being here. We are going to have now the present some words from the founder of Christopher Brooks. And well, Fatima, it has been a pleasure to be here with you. All the best, and hopefully we can have you as a team member, captain next year.
I hope so. Thank you so much.
Fatima, thank you on so many levels, because obviously you can tell it's really late there and you've stayed up. But what you've just shared is so insightful. I promise you, for teams who are working with international time zones, to think about actually having multiple teams rather than just all meeting when it's the least inconvenient is really, really insightful. So thank you for that. And also the idea of active listening. It's so important in CX. And the fact that you've stepped back and just heard what other people were saying. I mean, Sandeep is great having Sandy around. I mean, it's great to have on your team. You did well there. But, and a vice captain, vice captains, please, be there for your captains. Don't stand in their shadows. Be there by the side of them. So really, really great insights. And it just fills my heart to hear you talk about the fact that the charities stay in your heart and your head after the games. I mean, it's just
absolutely.
So I know you've got a lot of things going on at the moment, so thank you so much for making the time. And hopefully we'll have you back in the games when you're relocated and somewhere else.
I'd love that. Yeah. Thank you so much. All the best, everyone.
Well done for last year as well. I mean, you are still the reigning champion for another month.
Thank you so much. Best of luck, everybody. You'll rock it, I'm sure.
Take care.
See you, Fatima. Thank you. Okay, Chris. Well, you have some minutes if you have now at this moment, and of course after the briefing of challenge number 1. So I would like to ask you if you can give some context or some words for the new players that are coming, the new captains also, and after your message, we are going to present the captains and the judges, and we will have some words from them also. After that, let me show you also that we are going to have the challenge number 1 briefing with Lou, that she's already with us here in the backstage. And after that, we are going to have some Q&A questions. So all your time, Christopher.
Thank you. I mean, that's what it's all about. I mean, Lou is here from a really important charity and does incredible work on behalf of that charity, volunteers a lot of her time, a lot of her energy, but making a real difference. And it's Lou, and what they've achieved with the charity that she's working with is they're role models for all of us to look at and think, wow, we can make a real difference if we give our time and our talent. So please do stay on to hear Lou introduce the challenge. You'll get the detailed challenge to go away with your teams and look at, but do stay on for that. I would just like to say, and I don't think he gets this said enough, a massive thank you to Rodrigo. I mean, Rodrigo when he calls himself the staff, which is everyone, operations, everything, when it comes to the Customer Experience World Games. He does an awesome job, and we're here today because of him. But no longer is it just because of him. We now have the amazing Leandri, who's in the team, who's been doing all the wonderful communication and been kind of hustling and bustling us behind the scenes to make sure that we're ready. So her efficiency is incredible. So I'm so grateful to have those two supporting the games for us this year. And with that, we're now in our 5th year. So when we started this during COVID, it was a lockdown, and we decided to play some games to keep ourselves entertainment as we were kind of on furlough. And then somebody, a very smart lady, Heidi Stone, said, let's think about doing this for helping others. And it took off from there. And we've been going now for 5 years. And I wanted to give you just an update of where we've been in the last year. So since the World Games last year, we've now had another Poland edition, which is great. And if you get a chance, don't forget, anyone who plays in the games has access to the library of entries. So it's somewhere you can go and have a look and see just what other people have entered previously. The Poland edition entries are like off the scale. So 2024, I don't know what they're going to do in 2025 because they are back with Piotr leading it, but they were off the scale last year. So take a look at those. We did the Latin games, which was just, you know, our friends from South America and Iberia who come to play those games. It's an incredible program of activity that happens down there. And I found out this year something I hadn't appreciated, but one of the teams actually now continues to volunteer for the charity. So just goes beyond what we're trying to achieve. It's wonderful. We had our first live games. So Gitana, thank you so much towards Customer in Lithuania. They invited us over and we organized the live games and it worked. We did it for the first time live. We spent an intensive half day and we created some solutions for a teenage mental health charity in Lithuania. So impressed was one of the judges, Professor Asta, that we got invited to actually go to university in Kaunas in Lithuania and play the games for some master's students. So the World Games has now become part of the syllabus of a economics and management master's degree program. So that's not something I anticipated would happen, but both of them are examples that we can actually continue to get great traction and momentum if we have volunteers like yourself coming along and playing the games. We also have this year 2 incredible opportunities. I'm not going to reveal what they are, but we're playing corporate games. That's all I'm going to say. We're playing corporate games. So actually we're starting to work with organizations who want to help charities as well. So the format just keeps giving and it's really good. If you've played before, then hopefully you'll find, because you've got different players you're playing with, because you've got different charities, there's enough new in there. But obviously, please remember to bring that wonderful spirit of sharing everything in the spirit of progress. If you can give 10 minutes, 1 hour, 10 hours, depending on your time availability, you can make a real difference. And as Fatima was saying, make sure you think about how you organize your teams so you can get the best out of the people who are involved there. Now, we all come from many different places, geographically, sectors, positions in organizations. All of that sits at the door. We're all here as great human beings looking to demonstrate how customer experience can create a positive social impact when we only think about what we put in. That's all we're thinking about here is what you put in. I promise you, and many people will tell you this, the rewards for being a part of the games come in ways you don't expect. It's incredible. I won't even try to estimate how it will work for you, but everyone finds the games finds its own way of giving back. So just focus on you giving everything you can to solving the challenge. That's what we're looking for you to do here today. And I know we've got some incredible judges. I'm so grateful for people who give their time up for judging. I do a lot of judging, and I know many of you do. It takes time, and the effort and energy that goes into the entries really does demand, a lot of time to go through the judging. So thank you to our judges. But probably the ones we're going to meet first of all, I think if I'm right here, Rodrigo, are our new captains. And I think we have all 4 of our captains with us. Is that right? I think it may be a first for the opening ceremony. We've got all 4 captains with us.
Yes, that's right, Christopher. So let me bring to you to screen the captains, Sharon, Luciana, Tulani, and where are you, Mike? Well, I think I'm missing Mike. I'm going to ask him if he can join once again. He was in the backstage some minutes ago. So
I'll work my way. Thank you all, captains. I mean, I'm going to come to someone who's been with us, I think, since day one. Sharon, is that right? You've been with us since day one? Yes, absolutely. So Sharon, brings out the Top Guns again. No one's ever going to have that name. It's yours now forever. So welcome, Captain, our returning captain, and a victorious captain. This is a thing the other teams have got to be aware of. You won challenges, so you know how to do this. So welcome, Sharon. What inspired you to come back and be in the games again?
Oh, this is the highlight of my professional career. I think it's the CX for good piece for me. I wholeheartedly believe in that, and CX World Games is the absolute epitome of doing the right thing for charities, sharing, and as you said earlier, Christopher, what you get from sharing with each other and sharing with the charities is huge. And yes, it may take some time, but oh my goodness, is it worth it? So yeah, you can't keep me away, I'm afraid. I'm back for more each time. Brilliant.
Thank you, Sharon. So grateful for it. Delani, thank you so much for coming and bringing. We have Team Impact. So give us an appreciation behind the team name. What does the team name stand for, Delani?
All right. So the team name, Team Impact, and that's making an impact with empathy. And I think for me specifically, it's really guided everything which I've done in customer experience so far, and that empathy is key in everything you do. If you want to find meaning in the work that you do, you need to lean on empathy. So I was quite happy that it came up as a suggestion and that most people were really in tune with that. So it's very exciting. For me, I'm here to absorb as much as possible. I was part of the games last year, so it's my first time as a captain. But I've just seen with the team I have, I won't even say I'm out of my depth because I know there'll be so much support and everyone is willing to help. So I'm very excited, and I'm excited about my team.
Well, I'm rather jealous. I think if we weren't called the Customer Experience World Games, we would be called the Impact with Empathy Games. I think it's a brilliant, it perfectly captures what we're trying to do. So, every time that your team turns up, they can see above the door what they're there to do. So, it's brilliant name. And don't worry. I mean, Sharon will tell you, well, yourself playing last year, everyone stands by the side of each other. We all move forward together on this, and we just make sure that we kind of share everything and we learn and we progress. So that's awesome. And with Luciana, we actually, perhaps shouldn't say this too loudly, we have a champion amongst us. We have a reigning Latin champion playing. Yeah. So she's done it once. Can she do it on the world stage? This is the question. So, Luciana, welcome. Thank you so much for coming to the Global Games. We're so excited to have you as a captain. What are you looking forward to most?
I'm looking forward to working with a diverse team from different countries. For me, the last experience in the Latin CX Games was amazing, creating meaningful customer experience. So having that chance for me was awesome. And this is my first time as a team captain, so I couldn't be more excited. And I think even though we're spread across the world, we will work together for the same cause. That's the most important thing. And so let's enjoy the CX Games and grow together.
Well, that's going to be a new dimension for you, isn't it? Obviously, the geographical spread is going to be, appreciating Latin is a huge part of the world, but, you're still going to be spread into different areas. So maybe those ideas of Fatima earlier will come good. But, we're always impressed with the games. Matthias Gaddis and the team put on a great games in Latin. So, the standard of entry is as high as it can be already. So we're really excited to have you and really hope you enjoy this round of the games as well.
Me too. Thank you.
And Mike, coming to you. So, Mike, the Journey Juggernauts. I mean, I think that's probably the most creative name we've had. I really love that one. It has got some strength to that movement, I tell you. Well, look, welcome, Mike. I know you took part in the games last year, so we're really glad to have you as part of the family and delighted that you agreed to step forward and be our captain this year. So what are you hoping to bring from last year that you can learn from and take forward into this year?
Chris, Fatima said it really well. My participation in the games last year was very emotional, very humbling, and it allowed me to recommit myself to not only the charities selected by the World Games, but also local charities and other charities in my company support. So, that recommitment, I just felt that energy coming from last year and is feeding into this year. So I'm really looking forward to continuing that and also meeting some great experts from around the world. In my team, I think we have 12 different countries represented. And I know from the excitement already built in our WhatsApp group, we're going to have a really, really fun time.
Brilliant. Well, look, all four of you, thank you so much. Would you mind giving a shout out, if you have them in place, to your vice captain? So, Sharon, who's your vice captain this year?
I haven't got one yet.
Oh,
Challenge open.
all right. So there we go. If anyone's in Sharon's team, you know what to do to become her vice captain. Luciano, have you got a vice captain?
I don't have one yet.
Oh, wow. So vice captain,
No.
This is your opportunity. If you're thinking what it feels like to be sitting alongside your captains, then you can find your vice captains. What about you and Mike and Talani? Have you got vice captains nominated, or are we still waiting to find them?
Rigo and I think, are exchanging emails. He's going to recommend some from the team skills.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yes.
Talani,
So
okay. And Talani the same, I guess.
Yeah, the same.
Okay, all right. Well, look, I mean, if people want to put a bid forward, then feel free to do so. But and as we know,
one idea, we can take a look, Christopher, after the open ceremony, we can take a look to see who comments more times in the chat, and maybe that can be the vice captain.
Yeah. I like that idea. And as you guys know, I mean, the way we do this is we intentionally don't constrain you at all. We once were invited to be a part of someone else's community and playing their games, and they said, but you've got to use our methodologies, and we felt that betrayed the kind of integrity of the games, where we want people to bring in their ideas and their new models and their thoughts and everything, so that you can meld them with your own, and that way we all learn and develop and go forward. So wish you all the best. And that goes the same. I know Sharon has a very interesting way in how she manages the team, and others do it in different ways. So find your own paths on that. But good luck, everybody. I really wish you all at this stage equally the same. And I have to say that all the way through. You're all my favorites.
Okay. Well, captains, thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for being part of this this special edition. And we are going to be now in the backstage. I'm going to show quickly who are the judges, and after that, we are going to have Lou is going to share about the before Lou, sorry, we're going to have some judge participation. We have Michael and Benson, and then Lou is going to give us an appreciation of the challenge number 1. Okay, so thank you very much, Judge. You are going to be in the backstage right now.
Thank you, captains. I like just seeing some of these comments, Rodrigo. I like Tom DeWitt's. I guess this is in response to our idea of the more you speak, the more likely you'll be vice captain. He said, kind of sounds like a trap, but don't worry. Please do comment without worry of us insisting you're a vice captain. You just want to play, you just play. Please do take it like that. Okay, so now we have our judges. We have a judge. Both of you are returning judges, aren't you? I think you've both judged beforehand, yeah? So what we want to get from you both is a real appreciation of what you're looking for in these entries. So Benson, if I can come to you first. And I just mentioned, I should have mentioned with Sharon. Sharon is now joined our Steerco as a trustee because she's done such a sterling amount of work. And Benson has also joined our Steerco. So thank you, Benson. So people like Benson and Sharon and a few others, they volunteer their time and they help us keep us true to make sure that we can keep the integrity of the game. So we get offers on different things that we can do, but we've got to keep the integrity true to the spirit of the game. So people like Benson and Sharon help us achieve that, which in the background, which is much appreciated. But let's come to you guys first. So, the captains will want to hear this. The players will want to hear this. Michael, I'll come to you. You've judged, before for us. You've seen some brilliant entries. You've seen some entries that you've probably just passed over. But what are you looking for in the entries this year?
I think the thing that's really important for me in the World Games is that the entries have to come up with solutions that are pragmatic, that can be implemented relatively easily without using too much budget. Because let's face it, these are charities that we're talking about, so the money has to be spent well, and so. As I say, for me, the essential elements are something that's pragmatic and something that can be implemented without using too many resources.
Yeah, I think sometimes we need to say this often. Make it small. Think smaller rather than thinking bigger. Something that the charity can take away and implement tomorrow is going to be so much more valuable to them than something that takes them 3 or 4 months to figure out they can't implement. So absolutely. I'm absolutely with you. That pragmatism is so important. And because, we know the charities typically are there to fundraise, but when it comes to kind of what goes on behind the scenes, if they're not fundraising or they're not actually providing the service and the support to the beneficiaries, they're not necessarily technical experts. Apologies, find out Lewis, but they're not necessarily technical experts in some of the ideas that we come up with. So we've got to be very conscious of that. And I think pragmatic is a word people should kind of nail or write above their entries. Let's stay pragmatic. So great advice, Michael. Benson, first, can I ask you why you're happy to be a judge? That's a bit presumptuous, but you're back again, so you must be happy to be a judge. What is it about judging that you enjoy? You're on mute at the moment, just tell you.
Okay. Thanks for that, Chris. My role as a judge, it comes to me in a way that I am motivated to learn and to share the expertise. So I'm driven by the opportunity to evaluate innovative ideas, provide feedback, and to contribute to the growth of the global CX community. So what it means most about me, about the games, is that I appreciate the creativity that the players, considering the background that you were explaining, that we are coming from diverse backgrounds and not from one script, but we come up with creativity, innovation, and with that appreciation of kindness and empathy to provide solutions that I call impact actions, so that we can see the change in those charities or to whomever we are collaborating to provide solutions. So for me, being a judge is a chance for two things: a chance to learn from others, and also a chance to also share back my expertise.
Brilliant. Thank you, Benson. And you've been involved, you've been just to help people appreciate, you've been a player as well. So as you're judging things, you're able to look at it from the player's perspective and appreciate, what information they're putting in there. Is there any tips you've got for players in terms of, how they shape their responses?
Yeah, my tip is it is important to remain as simple as possible, while providing solutions that are accommodative. When you're a player, you are a team player. So when we are a team, our synergy comes in from our diversity. We are coming from different backgrounds, and this is a platform to share practical solutions so that we maintain a collaborative environment and give also a chance to each and every team member to promote this customer-centric culture with the aim of us providing excellence to the charities that we are serving.
Very good. Very well said. Now, I'm going to put a request out on behalf of the judges. We've got 4 teams. We've got 3 challenges. So there's kind of 12 entries we've got to review. Now, we have in the past, people have got very excited, and we've had entries of kind of 36 pages long. It gets really challenging to review that effectively. So we've added another criteria this year, which actually means that the way in which you present, and we're looking for things to be contained in really easy to digest format, that will actually make a contribution to the overall score. We're giving you some guidelines on kind of, we're not going to restrict it to one slide, but we do have some more, a bit more scope than that. But we're very conscious that we do want to make sure that, what we have is a consolidated type view, because when we finish with these, every entry that we've ever had is made available on a database to any of the charities who have ever taken part. So now we have hundreds of different solutions from many, many different games, and they're available to everyone. So we do want them to be able to take them away and review and be able to implement them if they need to separately. So not that we're not grateful for the effort and the energy that goes in, because honestly, it's just inspiring to see how much people put into their entries. But to contain it, is obviously, you know, it takes it to the next level. We can tell, make the complex simple, use, you know, language which is really easy and impactful. So that's what we'll be looking for from you this year. So I hope you'll be grateful for that little addition that we've added in there, judges, this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Much appreciated.
No worries. Rodrigo, anything else you'd like to just mention to the judges?
Well, yes, I would like quickly share with you the criteria of evaluation. We're going to, the judge have already the criteria of for evaluation. This year, we add one small question about the quality of the presentation, about the smoothness, and that it makes sense everything in the presentation. We are going to share with the teams after the briefing on challenge number 1 that is coming from Lou. So, but right now I want to thank Benson, Michael, to be here, to the other judge. Thank you very much for your time. And
Rodrigo, do you have it to hand who our other judges are? If you don't have it to hand, don't worry. Do you have the list of the other judges?
Yes. Yes.
There we go.
Here we go. The head of judge is Dr. Professor Phil Klaus, Michael Brandt, Neil Toff, Araceli Mesa, Hedy Stone, Benson, Eileen Rosso, and Ben Phillips. These are our judges for this year. So, we are going to post about them in the LinkedIn website and webpage. If you have any questions, well, you can send them a message also.
And a massive thanks from me to the judges, because obviously, you know, it's really important we get expert opinion, and the highest standard is there on the judging forum. Just to mention, for those who haven't played before, we also ask the charities to judge as well. So we have an expert panel winner, and then we have the judges, the charities winner as well. So the charities do answer directly themselves on the entries as well. But you know, our judges are just an incredible lineup this year. I'm so pleased that we got such a high caliber. So thank you, Benson and Michael, and to everyone else.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. See you later, Benson, Michael. Okay, it's time to know more about where is coming Christopher. Let me present you, dear players, Lou Kidder. Welcome, Lou.
Hey, Lou.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for having me.
Now, a bit of a disclaimer, Lou. You and I have known each other for some time, so we need to just make sure that we cover all the bases, because otherwise we might jump around here and people at the end of it just think they don't get to hear everything they need to hear. But Lou, you are the chair of the Business Beats Cancer Scotland charity, and you've been in position for how long now?
3 years.
3 years, 3 years. And this is part of a bigger UK charity called Cancer Research. But is that, am I right with that?
Yes.
Yeah. What they're doing, and I think this is very useful for the players to hear, because quite often we're working with charities who are quite young, just establishing, but this charity has been going for some time. So they've become very innovative at identifying new pockets of donors and volunteers to reach out to, and that's what Business Beats Cancer is about. So would you mind giving us appreciation of how you got involved with it, and what it serves, what benefit it's bringing to society?
Yeah, well, can I start by saying thank you for having us? Wow, the talent in the room, in the virtual room, I feel honoured. So yeah, excited. Yeah, really excited. We don't have any customer experience on the board, so that's helpful. I'm chair of Business Beats Cancer Edinburgh, I suppose Scotland, and they're setting them up across the UK. I'm also director of Always Be Content, a creative agency. So we're the creative partner pro bono, and we give our time and creative services. So we have that to play with, which is nice, and why we're probably doing so well, and that helps lift our brand level. I got into it. I lost my mum to cancer. I mean, who hasn't been affected by cancer, really? It's 1 in 2 now. So yeah, all of us have been affected. We all volunteer as a board. So we're all doing this outside of our day jobs. It does take up quite a lot of time, but we feel we need to, because the government's not doing enough. So we're in there raising money. We've raised over £720,000 to date, which is brilliant. But we're trying to get to 1 million next year, which is why I'm hoping you guys can help shift us a little bit this August. So yeah, big targets. We're the best performing board in the UK, which is a lovely thing to be shouting about. So we're obviously all doing something really well here in Edinburgh. Do you want me to go on to the challenge, Chris?
Well, tell us more about the specific Business Beats Cancer, because obviously, you know, it's a particular setup. How does that work? What is it?
Yeah, so it's part of Cancer Research UK, which is, as you say, is UK wide, but also, I mean, global, on a global scale. The work that's being done here in the UK, you know, is being shared globally, which is great. We're not keeping it to ourselves. So the money we're putting here is everyone can benefit from. But yeah, it's a clever idea really from CR UK to get businesses to be boards, and then we're giving our time kind of as part of our CSR, I suppose. And then the businesses are putting their money in. So, you know, we have an annual dinner where we get businesses together, and, you know, businesses have pots of money that they might want to spend anyway. So it is quite a clever idea, which is why they're trying to get it in every city. I mean, they're branching out to like Sports Beats Cancer. There are other things that they're doing. So it's a good idea to get lots of us volunteering for them to just help the research. They just don't have enough money to do what they want to do, and, you know, we need to help them find a cure. So,
and you've got some incredible facilities up there in Edinburgh, haven't you? So I know a lot of the money that's raised goes directly to providing kind of further research. Could you give us an appreciation of exactly what's going on?
Yeah, well, each city, I suppose, is different, but Edinburgh is brain tumours are a big one for us. So we had someone speak at our dinner recently his life has been prolonged because of having treatment at Edinburgh. So brain tumours is one, and it's the biggest cancer amongst young people, brain tumours, which I didn't know. And yeah, looking into rarer cancers. I mean, one of the girls we're doing this challenge for, one of my clients lost his daughter age 25 to a rare cancer, which is just incredibly sad. So they look into rare cancers as well. And I think that's what's really important, that they look into over 200 cancers. I mean, that's too many to count, right? But, you know, they're looking into the key ones, and they're picking up the rare ones as well, which is why it's our chosen charity to work with.
Excellent. And we do hear, you know, that progress is being made. We hear stories internationally of breakthroughs that are being made. And I guess this only happens because people like you organize initiatives like this with businesses who then put money into the research part. Otherwise, as you say, the governments aren't supporting for whatever reason. It wouldn't happen otherwise. So those stories we hear on the news of the breakthroughs are really thanks to people like you, Lou, who actually get everything going for us.
Yeah, well, yes, true, Chris. Yes, thank you.
Well, yeah. And so with that in mind, you've got a very active program, and I've been involved, and it's a very active program, and you're getting big companies to get involved. And as you say, you can tap into them. And if anyone is playing in the games this year and is in the UK and thinks, you know, our company could do something like this, then contact Lou. You know, please contact Lou and just see how you can use it as a team development day or whatever, however you want to use it, or a night out with the team to go to a wonderful auction and an evening. But you've got a whole series of, you've got a great board because you've got a whole series of events that happen throughout the course of the year. You mentioned auctions and guest speakers and the like, and you've put into place one in the summer. It's happening in August. So the timing is perfect here, because we know that what comes out of these entries, you're literally going to take the wet ink away and start to work on ready for the August campaign. So do you want to tell us what the August campaign is that you're running?
Yeah, well, it started in lockdown because obviously we couldn't have our annual dinner. So we had to think outside the box. And so we thought, what could we do outside? And there's Seven Hills in Edinburgh. So we decided we'd do the 7 Hill Challenge. And we do say and a lot of people think that's maybe quite hard, and they're a bit put off by it. But in reality, if any of you've been to Edinburgh, one of them is to walk up to the castle. It's not very hard. All the tourists are walking up with you. it is a great team day out, and we do
You've
joke.
got to put your effort in, haven't you? You've got to do all 7. That's the thing. I mean, if you had to do all 7, it takes how long? A few hours, doesn't it?
9 to 5, so it's all day.
Yeah.
I mean, Arthur's Seat is pretty tough, and everyone wants that out of the way first because it is pretty hard going. So there are some challenges for sure. It's 22k. Yeah, the elevations they do add up, and it is tiring. But it is at a level that anyone can do. Really, we had someone's mum come on that was like 70, and she was doing a few of them. So, and we can drive between, we can walk between. Some people might want to run between. So yeah, it's the 7 hills all throughout the day. And we've been doing it for a few years now, but our challenge really is it's kind of getting people to return, but how can we make it more interesting? Because we're worried, do people want to keep doing it? Is there something we can do that's slightly different, more fun along the way? I mean, last year we sort of threw in a cancer research quiz and made a little trophy at the end, and that was just a quick thing, but I'm sure you guys can think of other things, but we just, try to make it more interesting, I think.
Well, we've broken it down into 3 parts for you. What we want people to look at is the registration process, for the sign-up process. So what we don't want people to do is worry about going out and finding new companies. That's what you and your board will do, Lou, isn't it? You're going to find the companies. But what we want to do is to be able to give you the story of why it's going to be such a great experience for them to be a part of. So from a practical perspective, we want to make sure that the registration experience is just as good as it can possibly be. We then have the pre-event experience where we want people to be thinking about fundraising and thinking about the event coming up. So what can we do to keep them engaged and make that experience just something that means they're looking forward to the event? And then the event itself, as you said, it has a framework. You're climbing the 7 hills. We're talking about raising money for cancer research. I think you've named the hills as well. Is that right?
Well, yeah, we have a Digimag, which I think hopefully is in the brief. I can share anything if you want, Chris. But yeah, we did. There's a map, and we did sort of. If you click on the numbers of the hills, you can see like one is called breast cancer, etc. But we've never actually done anything with that. I think we just thought it was a clever idea and then didn't follow through with it. So there's definitely something hidden in there, and the fact that this family is walking in memory of Anna Walker because of rare cancer. Maybe there's something in that.
Yeah, well, I think what we have is, that experience. We want people, as you say, who've done it before to think, not, oh, I've done that, I've ticked it off my list. It's like, oh my God, look, it's a better experience than it was before. I want to do it again. Yeah. So we're not talking about something that's broken here. It's kind of, in business terms, we'd say it's a good experience. It just can we make it great now? Because what we want, the best advocates we're going to get are those people who've done it before to come back. And we need to raise the experience for them so they want to come back. And obviously that's the perfect story and ammunition for you to then take out to new recruits to say, look how amazing the experience is going to be. Recognizing at the heart of it, they're going to be fundraising. So we don't need ideas for fundraising this time. What we need is, how do we turn this existing experience into something that is, 4 or 5 times greater? And no disrespect to you and your board, I mean, you've got them this far, but what we're hoping is the teams can now pick it up and take it to the next level. If we do that, then what it means is we get those players, those participants come back again. So that's money that's been raised before being raised again. And we get more people coming, which means more funds get raised, which takes you closer to your target, which means more research gets done, which means fewer people have to suffer from cancer because we find cures for cancer. So it going to all connects through these tiny little changes that we make here will have the ultimate impact and the goal of cancer research and other global research, cancer charities.
And I think still trying to get people, I suppose some people are like, oh, will they sponsor me again? I did it last year. So anything in that, how do we get, is there anything in the ideas that makes people sponsor you again? Is there a reason why you would sponsor you again? Because you've done 20 start jobs at the top, or so, I don't know.
We can have, as a Kat's put a good question, I'll come to that, but we can have some fun with this. But I know that you're very keen to make sure that there is kind of a thread of steel that stays with the fact that it's cancer research we're talking about here. So we don't want that to be forgotten, because as you say, some people will be walking in memory of, others will be, it's a very important focus that we've got on it. So we don't want to just drop all of that and just create something very abstract, but we can have an element of fun. There's a bit of competition. You've got, companies who will send their work teams up to take part of it. So, you know, what can we do to make that work even harder? So Kat's asked the question, is there a budget? Can we spend hypothetical money on elevating the experience? So we always say, you know, we work on the basis we have no budget. But what we do have from you, Lewis, you mentioned is your director of Always Be Content, who are an award-winning design and advertising and creative agency. So you have the ability to polish communications, as it were, not to do print runs of tens of thousands, because, you know, otherwise it just costs a lot of money. But you can polish communications and make things look incredible. I guess that we quite often don't have that within the charities, is the ability to create stuff. So would that be fair? Would you be able to support that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I mean, they could spend. We have a bank account that we can take some money from if we need to. It's just any money we take out is going away from the fundraising.
Yes.
So yeah, a little bit. But yeah, like you say, creative collateral. So like we'd had some sort of pop-up lollipop branded things that we could sort of take up the hills with us, and so printed things we certainly can. And we've got the Digimag. We give everyone a t-shirt. So yeah, promo things.
There is some small stuff. I mean, don't be afraid to include it. We're not going to mark you down if you put in some small promotion or merchandise ideas or creative collateral. We're not going to mark you down for that at all. But obviously, if it was to be something like we're going to run a national television campaign, then we're not going where we need to go. And don't forget, we're staying in the space of experience. It's got to be able to demonstrate that the participant says that is an enhanced experience on what I've done before, and therefore, you know, I'm happy to continue to be a part of this and donate towards it. So do consider it like that. If you are including anything that has a cost, you must provide us an appreciation of what that cost may look like. That'd be very helpful as well. And don't forget those 3 parts. You know, we've spoken a lot about the event here, but we've got the registration process. In the briefing pack, you've got links. You can go in and find everything you need to in terms of what would happen if you tried to sign up. You can see all that information in the stuff that we've sent you. And then you've got to think about that gap between signing up and actually the event. How do you sustain interest? And then finally the event itself. So kind of 3 parts to this one, which is makes it a bit more challenging than we've normally had. But, you know, an extremely worthwhile charity. And the good thing that we know is that with a professional board who are looking after the money that comes in, we know it goes to the right places. So we can be rest assured any impact we have will help improve the fortunes of the charity, and that will then be redirected to help the causes that are needed.
Yeah, and then the plan would be that we'll hit our $750,000 on the hills, which is a great figure to hit. So like last year we hit 550, I think. So we had some little bubbles talking about that. So I mean, obviously with your help, guys, we can obviously say thanks to you guys, we've hit $750,000, which is a nice PR story as well. CRUK, you know, should pick that up, and we have a PR person on the board. So yeah, hopefully we can get some PR around it as well.
Great. So that's the target we're going after here. So Lou, what happens normally is when we've issued the challenges to the teams, there will be some questions that get raised that we've not covered here. So what we'll do is we'll consolidate those so that you don't have 4 lots of questions, and then we'll get those over to you. And if you don't mind just providing answers to them, and then that way everyone will see every question and answer, and they're all on the same page going forward. And then will you be okay to return for the reviewing of the entries and awarding a special prize?
Yeah.
You're more in the know than we are as judges.
Yeah, absolutely. Very excited. Yeah. And we should, the other thing we just found out, we should be getting some pizza and beer at the end as well. So that always helps people want to do a challenge. We're hoping to get a pizza truck at the end. So a pizza company in Edinburgh gave us this pizza truck as an auction prize at the dinner, and it raised £6,000 for pizza at the dinner. Everyone was shocked that someone would pay £6,000 for pizza. So we're trying to get pizza geeks along.
I think that's testament to, you know, please be creative in thinking about how you can raise the experience standard, because the smallest things, such as a pizza truck, all of a sudden just demonstrate you can raise money from it. But what we're talking about is making an experience. I mean, what would be great is to create something that becomes your shape of what the Seven Hills looks like going forward. And then year on year, this year, people find out about it next year. They want to be a part of it, and it grows and grows. So I think that will be the ultimate ambition, is to create you an elevated experience around the Seven Hills Challenge.
I think that's the thing, Chris, because other people can do the Seven Hills Challenge. So there's probably other charities that are jumping on our back doing the thing, but doing it quite simply. We've got a much better sort of, you'll see when you get into our slide deck and our Digimag, you know, it looks great. So yeah, just making it our own is and elevating it would be fabulous.
That's an interesting challenge that we don't often have, is that, you know, as a corporation, if I'm deciding, if I'm a manager and thinking we'll do an event this year, team, there could be 4 or 5 charities offering the similar thing. So actually there's a bit of a competition here to make sure I'll do it with Business Beats Cancer, because look, that looks like a great experience for my team. You know, so from an employee experience perspective, what experience do I want my team to have? We've got to make sure yours stands above the others, so that the manager of the corporate says, I'm going to choose Business Beats Cancer.
Mm-hmm. And also 1 in 2 of their employees might get it. So
sure, absolutely. Okay, Lou, well, thank you so much for trusting us with what is a really precious asset of yours. And, you know, knowing the captains and having a look at the players we've got some incredible individuals coming in from all over the world. So we've got, you know, we have over 40 different countries represented. So I can't wait to see what that diversity brings back to your challenge. Do consume the material that is in the links, because Lewis provided a lot. It gives you a really good understanding of what the event is about, and then hopefully with the briefing you should have a good clarity on what the challenge is. So let's go for it, everyone.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Come and join us in Edinburgh as well. Come and do the Seven Hills Challenge with us. Jump on a flight.
Will be amazing, Lou. I hope one day I will go with Christopher over there. Well,
thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Lou. I'm looking forward to see you later.
Bye.
Okay. Finally, to finish the opening ceremony, Christopher, I would like to share with the players this little slide. Is about the judge and the captain's trophy have this information. We have quite similar criteria from the last year. Is about the degree of problem solution, if it's attending the problem that is in the briefing or not. The number 2 is applicability of the solution. It can become real or not. And we're adding this topic about the quality of presentation, the smoothness, the consistency of the presentation as a small part of the mark. So where we can have, each team can have a total of 10 points, and we are at the end, the overall winner is going to be the sum of the 3 challenges. So if you win the challenge number 1, but maybe the next challenge you have low qualification, you can become first or second place. It depends. So one challenge doesn't define anything. That's something that it can be useful for the captains, the players. Don't worry if you are on second place, because it can be 1 point the difference between you and the first place. So go ahead, go be creative, and well, looking forward to see you during this month. We have during this week the challenge number 1. Next week we have a 15 minutes live to share about the challenge number 2, and it's going to be 1 week. The only time that we have a 30 minutes live is going to be the 18th of this month, and for the closing ceremony, because we are presenting the winners and also another challenge. This detail, this picture with more detail, you will have it in your emails, and in 2 minutes after we finish this open ceremony, the briefing also will be in your mailbox. So I think if there is any questions.
Yeah, I don't know what you did. I think maybe what we said, Rodrigo, but the comments seem to have dried up. So I think the threat of Tom was right. The threat of being vice captains means the comments dried up. I do see one from Scott, though. Now, Scott's been involved in the games for many years, so it's really good advice. It's an answer back to Kat's question about the budget. Scott said, cheaper the better. Possibly faster to implement as well is ideal. Maybe in your recommendations, break down opportunities by cost so the charity can pick and choose based on budget. So do that. Please don't just kind of go, I think it'd be about €1,000, $1,000 overall. Break it down so they can actually see. Make it easy for them to make the decision. So really good advice there, Scott. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Scott. And okay. Well, Christopher, I think we are. You have one thing missing to say. Give me 1 second.
Okay, so we're here, 2025, the Customer Experience World Games. We're calling this now the Global Edition because we have so many regional ones. So it's all that's left for me to say is let the global games begin.